Cool. So personal development, if you guys want to crush 2023, okay, you essentially want to have a game plan. Okay. If you don't have a game plan, your plan is essentially a fail. Like you're not going to get far without a plan. I forgot who said the quote, but it says planning is a plan is useless, but planning is necessary. So what does that actually mean? It means that you need to have the intention of having the plan to hit your goals in 2023 or any kind of goals that you have. But it's the process of planning that's going to help you out more than the plan itself, because life is chaotic. That plan's going to have to adapt. That's something that I've had to accept just because I'm a person that likes to control a lot of things. My plan now is always flexible, right? I'll still make a plan, but I know that things can change. Okay? So this is something I got from my financial abundance course, is that I separate life into health, wealth, relationships, passions, and adventures. Okay. Of those 5 categories, you essentially want to have goals on each of them. Okay. If you don't know what your goals are, it's gonna be very difficult to hit that, right? Like you can't be walking around here with no goals anymore, right? And sadly, that's the fact for most people, right? It's that, hey, they don't have goals. If I ask you, hey, what are your health goals? People can't answer them right away. What are your wealth goals? People can't answer them right away. You got to be able to answer that right away, because that is your North Star. Okay. Got to put the goals above almost everything else in health, wealth, relationships, passions, and adventures. Okay. What you could do at home is have those 5 categories and then really ask yourself, what does your ideal life look like? What does your ideal health look like? What does your ideal wealth look like? What does your ideal relationship looks like? What does your ideal passions look like? What do your ideal adventures look like? Just planning that is going to be work, right? So some of you guys know I traveled Asia for a little bit. Hey, Sean. Hey, Josh. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, it was awesome. It was fun, but it was still work, right? Like I still had to plan out the logistics, still had to get to airports on time, still have to like add buffer time, like being able to organize your rides, being able to pick your excursions, being able to like be where you need to be at the right time and plan everything out, make sure I build a team back home that can still take care of the business, make sure that I'm still on top of my marketing, even if I'm gone. Like it's just a bad idea to not be marketing, even if you're on quote unquote vacation. I was on a vacation, so it's a little different. But the idea here is that you need to plan out what you want your life to look like. Okay. That's part of my adventure. I wanted to go on that adventure, and I knew that planning was necessary for me to actually go from point A, stuck in Winnipeg, to point B, traveling in Asia while still making money online and still being able to run the business. Okay. So you want to go through each of these, right? Health, wealth, relationships, passions, and adventures. Okay. Once you have those goals, and we talked about this in the making money in the DMs, is you want to add KPIs to this, right? So some of you guys know, welcome Mothman, welcome Canadian Tadka. Essentially, I'm doing monk mode. So one of my KPIs is like no alcohol, no drugs, no caffeine, or no coffee, I guess. I have a little bit of tea, so there's some caffeine in here. So I have a list essentially, and I just track that day by day. Okay. And the idea here is that just because you have a plan, if you get offset by a little bit, that's okay. You don't have to beat yourself up to that. But it's the idea that over time, you're getting more and more and more consistent, right? So something you could do with your health is, hey, if you can afford it, why not get a trainer, right? Like I've hired Jared James there. He's my trainer. He's giving me workouts that even while I'm traveling, I could do my body weight workouts. Is it the most optimized? Am I going to become like athlete level fit? Probably not. But is that my goal? No, it's not. Like I'm just trying to become fit and healthy enough so I can be optimized in my business, right? My goal is not to be an athlete. My goal is to run this business, provide for my team, provide for retirement for my parents, help my girlfriend pay for school, live the life that I want to live, right? Not be an athlete. So that's the health side. Wealth. Actually break down what your ideal life looks like and costs, right? what type of life do you want to live? Where do you want to stay? How much is it going to cost to live there? How often do you want to travel? How much is that going to cost? What kind of car do you want to drive? How much does that cost? How often do you want to eat out? What kind of food do you want to eat? How much does that cost? Having a partner, like being in a relationship, that costs money, right? Now, all these people like, oh, if you don't want to date gold diggers or whatever, everyone costs money, right? Like you gotta get people gifts. Now it's up to you how much of level of girlfriend you can afford, right? I always have that as a joke with my boys. But essentially, like even if you're a girl watching this, like, hey, you're gonna have to pay for your guy at some point, like something, right? How much does that actually cost? You want to get married. How much does that cost? Right? Ring, wedding, all this stuff. With your business relationships, how much does it cost to maintain that? Right? Business dinners, being able to pour into different like programs, training, coaches, consultants. How much does that cost? Okay. If you don't have any type of coach or consultant nowadays in your business, I think you're doing yourself a huge disservice. And I'm not just saying that because, like, of course I'm biased, like I'm in the coaching business. But literally every single high performer I have met has a coach in at least one of these areas. Okay. Maybe not all of them at the same time. Like I've done that and, it's not really the most optimized, but I learned to do that from one of my other coaches. And again, I just had an open mind. I was like, I'll try it. I'll get a coach in all these areas at the same time. And then I realized like, hey, like I'm better off being in immersion, right? So I'll take a coach here and there, depending on what season I'm in life. Okay. That's just how I do things. You don't have to do it that way, but I do truly believe if you're in a business and you're trying to grow and scale, one, you need to be able to track that. Like, are you actually growing your business or is it just staying stagnant? And two, you're going to need like a coach or consultant to help you get to the next level. Someone who's been there, done that. And essentially, even if they're a little bit ahead of you, they can give you insights that you're not even thinking about, right? So you're doing yourself a huge disservice if you're in a business and you don't have some sort of mentor or coach to help you out with that, even in this areas. So that's health, wealth, relationships, passions. What are you actually passionate about? What are the things that you want to do just for yourself, right? Not for other people, not because you're a great person, not because you want to offer value, selfishly for you, okay? For me, this coming year, I want to drive my Aston Martin across Canada, okay? That's just for me, okay? Now, yeah, I can put it in, like I can do some marketing around it, make some YouTube videos, whatever. That might attract some clients. If it doesn't, I don't care. I want to do that for myself. Find out what you want to do for yourself. Okay. And then finally, adventures. What adventures do you want to go on? And how can you actually reach that? Asks, how's your monk mode going, brother? It's good. Got into a good pace of things. Monk mode was pretty awesome. And I started a little bit earlier. Supposed to start in January 1st, but essentially we're starting earlier with monk mode. So yeah, haven't really fallen off on that just yet, knock on wood. So yeah, accountability group is kind of funny too. Shout out to everyone in monk mode. Our accountability group is hilarious. I love it. Cool. So now we're just taking Q&A questions. If you want to learn how to make money in the DMs or you got any self-development, personal development questions, I'd like to share that with you guys. And for ones watching at home or you guys watching a replay, put any questions again in the comment section. I'd love to answer all of those. Help you guys out with that. And yeah, we'll wait here for a bit if you got any questions, comments, critiques, concerns when it comes to making money in the DMs. For the ones that are here at the very end, give you guys a opportunity to implement what I just shared with you, make money on the DMs, is essentially to leverage, and this is the opportunity. So I essentially offer a 10% commission on any sale you guys make, whether that's the financial abundance course or the real estate coaching. So what you guys can do is you don't even need to make your own content. You can actually just share your content, share my content, right? Tag me in there. And then the next post, you can tag me again and put in, like, you can literally copy my call to actions or make your own. Be like, hey, I'm working with Patrick J. Hilario. If you're interested in learning about financial literacy or real estate, you want to hire a coach, make sure to DM me and make sure they DM you, right? They don't need to DM me. Make sure they DM you so you get the practice of going through the 6 boxes, the 6 steps to closing. So then you'll go through that conversation and then you'll get them to send a link. This link is my Loom video. In that Loom video is essentially, I explain what's in the Financial Abundance course, or if they're interested in real estate coaching, you'll send them a link to my Calendly after you've asked like, hey, do you actually want Patrick's help with this? So you're essentially doing the talking for me. This is a sales position that gets you 10%. My real estate coaching costs anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to even $20,000 for the very high elite performers that really want to go and scale. With that, you get 10% of that, right? So that's $2,000, $1,000, or even $500 just for messaging on your DMs, right? I'll probably release more videos trailing on this if you're interested. If you want to try that and use those links, just send me a DM. I'll help you set you up with that. And then once you close your first deals, you just got to screenshot that conversation with that person, send me your Stripe or Instagram, e-transfer. I can send you that money right away. It'll be 10% of what they put in. Now, some people like to do payment plans or whatever, so you'll get 10% of that. But we can figure out the details afterwards. Mr. Hawari asks, thoughts on Airbnb ownership versus arbitrage? Good question. So I've seen people become successful with both. Obviously, ownership comes with the tax advantage and tax leveraged advantages, right? Like you can depreciate that property. You're running an active business, so you get all that as well. Plus, you have your real estate tax credits, which are awesome. So I do prefer Airbnb ownership, mostly because that's what I have done in the past. I've never done Airbnb arbitrage. Again, I'm not a pro at Airbnb, so if you're interested, look for Samantha in my followers. She's one of my real estate students. She's awesome, and she actually specializes in Airbnb. So hit her up, and she does co-hosting as well. So that's another really interesting way to learn and do Airbnb without actually owning any of your properties. So I hope that helps. Again, it's not really my forte, right? I focus on buy and holds, a little bit of flipping, wholesaling, and then of course the BRRRR strategy. That's what I should. That's what I prefer, and also what I specialize in. Good question. Anyone's got any questions, comments, critiques, concerns? If not, we are going to finish here. Hope you guys got a ton of value from these videos. If you guys are watching from home again, put your comments, questions, critique, concerns in the comments section. I'm going to answer that, or I'll make some videos on that. Hopefully you guys got a ton of value here. Hopefully you guys understand that it is very possible to make money in DMs. If you want an opportunity to do that or learn how to do that, want a little more guidance, let me know. Just shoot me a message. I'd love to help you out with that. And then, yeah, hopefully setting those goals of those 5 areas: health, wealth, relationships, passions, and adventures. Set those goals. Take some like 15 minutes to an hour today. Set that up so you're good to go in January. And then don't forget, you got to take action. You got to have the key performance indicators to help you actually reach that. And then, hey, it's just one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Keep chopping away. And then I'll see you guys later. Peace.